No blood, no DNA, no trace. Police tape flapping in the wind, flickering courtroom lights, a blurred photo of the victims, and a silent knife sheath on evidence cloth. A college town shattered. 4 students murdered in their sleep. And the only clue, a knife sheath with one name written in DNA, Bryan Kohberger. Prosecutors call it a match, 5.3 octillion to 1. The defense calls it impossible. No victim DNA found anywhere. No blood, no link, just silence. Now, with the gag order lifted and cameras rolling, secrets once sealed are breaking open. But in the courtroom, the truth is still waiting. Hello everyone. Welcome to True Crime Archives by Chacha for newcomers to this channel. If you love true stories, this channel was made for you. We post 3 stories per week every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. If this interests you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you always get the latest content. Your support means a lot. Don't forget to hit the like button. As I've told you before, the like button is a simple gesture for you, but for me it's something huge because it helps YouTube know that people like my content and shows it to more new people. So please don't forget to support me by hitting that like button. Now to the latest out of Idaho. The judge presiding over the gruesome University of Idaho murder case has ruled to loosen the tight gag order that prohibited almost anyone from speaking about the criminal proceedings. So under this new gag order, prosecution and defense attorneys can speak on some matters now related to the case. And it does come as a new filing from Bryan Kohberger's attorney says that there is, quote, no explanation for the lack of victims' DNA evidence found in his apartment, office, home, or car. However, earlier this week, prosecutors said that Kohberger's DNA is a statistical match to the DNA found on the knife sheath that was left at the crime scene last fall. Joining us now to discuss new developments is News Nation Law and Justice contributor and former FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindorfer. Jennifer, thank you for being here. Thank you for having me, Natasha. I want to talk about this other major point because we know that prosecutors are consulting the families about seeking the death penalty against Kohberger. How common is this for prosecutors to seek the family's input on sentencing like this? It's very common in a case where they've lost lives like this. They should have some input and they will have input. But the bottom line is this prosecutor will make his own decision on whether they seek the death penalty. You know, the prosecution and defense attorneys can now speak on some matters. The families of the victims can now speak to media. The original order went as far as including law enforcement officers or precluding them from speaking to the press. How effective are gag orders in cases like this? Are they largely irrelevant? I think it's been very effective in this case in particular. There have been some, information gleaned from sources. But now I think it will loosen up in terms of actually having some information out there that the media can give that will be precisely on point because of the source. The source will be identified and will have, inside information regarding the investigation. Tell me what a big deal this is that prosecutors say Kohberger's DNA is a statistical match for the DNA that was found on the knife sheath. Is that a slam dunk for the prosecution? It's very good information for the prosecution. And this is why before they used genetic genealogy to connect the dots. And that was much more complicated. In this situation, they are saying 5.3 octillion, which I didn't even know that was a number before now, chances that it would not be his. So essentially it's his DNA on there. And now there's a direct connect. And, it's just, I've said it before, the smoky sheath. Yeah, and, meanwhile, his defense is saying, hey, no explanation for the lack of victims' DNA in any of his property. What is your response to that? Well, just because they don't have DNA, it doesn't mean they don't have blood evidence. Natasha, so that blood evidence is not going to go away. It's going to soak into different places that he would have been if indeed it was exposed. But remember, he could have had plastic in there in his car that, protected it from the blood. In addition, DNA is degraded through cleaning products such as bleach. So just because you have blood doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to glean the DNA. We also got a ruling on cameras now. And for now, they will be allowed in court. Kohberger's defense really did not want this to happen. It is significant. We know in northern Idaho with the trial of Lori Vallow, there were no cameras allowed there. What kind of impact do you think this will have on this trial? Well, recall, the judge is with